to Audio Addiction. We have the Burden with us, and they can say their names and what they do in the band.
My name's Jake. I cry in a microphone.
True.
Yeah.
I'm Rob. I play guitar in the band.
I'm Ross. I'm not talented enough to play guitar, so I play bass.
All right, guys. So my first question is, how did you start out the Burden? How did you get your members?
I started the Burden essentially from a band breaking up, my old high school band. We had an old vocalist who was in the high school band with me, and Devin was in my high school band. He's our drummer. Rob was also in that band. He was my replacement for a little bit.
Oh my god.
Essentially, that band fell apart, and we decided to do the Burden. We did a bunch of member changes. Rob's been in it nearly since the beginning with me. I originally just sang and played guitar. I still play guitar in the band, but not live. Ross joined in right after Modern Disease came out, so we've had Devin pretty much since the beginning, and Rob's been pretty much since the beginning, and yeah, I'm the only original dude.
Awesome. My next question, guys, what are some favorite venues you guys like to play shows at, or even catch a show at?
Okay, there's this really crusty, kind of illegal venue in Vancouver. We've only played it once, so that's 8 hours away for us, Vancouver.
Okay.
We don't play there as often as we'd like, but we played, it's called 333, and it's on the corner of Clark and Hastings, which is about the worst part of town. And yet, this venue is so rad because we played, it was a pretty big show. It was this band, Take Heart, right?
Yeah.
It was a big band. It was their last show. And so it was a good show, but it's the only rule at that venue is no drinking or drugs outside the venue. You have to do them inside because they don't want to get shut down. And it was just crazy, except the vibe there was really good because everybody was there to see music, and that's the only reason. So it was a great vibe, and that's my favorite to play.
I love that. I love playing Kelowna. We play Kelowna as well pretty often because just the shows are super rowdy. Doesn't matter the venue. We always have a good time in Kelowna, so I love Kelowna because they seem to like us for some reason.
We played a venue in Kelowna called Munion's Post a couple times. It's just a little Viking themed bar downtown, and it's tons of fun.
We got free beer at that show, so I could finally tell my mom that I don't just lose money on this band. Well, we still lost money, but I got a free beer to show for it. So,
and then, in our hometown here, for quite a while we played. It's a cafe, and it was like the size of somebody's living room, basically. And we'd play there, and you'd have 40 people, and that's over capacity for this little place, and it was packed. And we just set up and play with our friends and then go home. And that venue was the best. Unfortunately, they closed, but that's fun. Just setting up in a little tiny cafe, blasting, and then leaving. That's great.
And then we got to go to bed before 10 o'clock still, so because we're old dudes.
I used to know that feeling. Now I go to bed super late, so the complete opposite schedule from what I used to. But I was talking to some other bands from Canada, especially Western Canada. Do you find it hard to find a venue to go to it? Because I know that you guys are elaborating on smaller venues. So how do you think this scene is, and is there anything you think that needs to get improved on or something like that?
Well, honestly, as far as Western Canada, it's super intimidating because there's so much damn talent here. I don't know. We're lucky to have such a good scene. The concentrated amount of talent in Western Canada, BC, Alberta, the provinces that we're kind of around. I don't know how it is really in the States, but I know people will be here, check out this States local band. The scene's cool here, and it'll be they're all right. But we have a bunch of friends, bands like Stasis, Kitsune, who else? Color in the Clouds, Widmore, so many good bands. No Liars, they're from the same province we're from, and they're just homies in every city, and it seems every city at least has one super good band. So and genuinely good, not oh, they're our buddies, so they're really good. They're really good. So as far as talent wise, the scene's fucking insane. I don't know if we're allowed to cut.
But I don't make that YouTube money yet, so.
Oh hell yeah, but no, for real though. band and talent-wise, it's insane. I mean, venue-wise, it is a little tough, like trying to coordinate shows and go on little stints for tours and stuff.
It's the all-ages venues that we prefer to play.
Yeah.
That are hard to find. They're a bit easier to find, it seems, in the smaller towns, but you head to anywhere in Vancouver, and they're so rare. And they come and go like once a year, or there'll be one.
The other thing that makes it tough too is a lack of good promoters. I think has been our biggest struggle. Is
bands
we
do the promotion.
Yeah, we talk constantly with other bands, and we're always talking about doing shows. And we'll be like, yeah, let's go play this city, and it's left to the bands to have to book it and set it up and promote it, and that gets really, really frustrating, especially when you're trying. Sorry. Yeah. When you're trying to book a show in a town 8 hours away, and there's no one in that town that's really promoting it.
That's the other big issue with Western Canada is where we are.
The distance.
It's 8 hours to Edmonton, 8 hours to Calgary, 8 hours to Kelowna, and 8 hours to Vancouver.
So anywhere we want to go, it's an 8-hour drive minimum one way. So like it's tough because at least like if we go to somewhere like Calgary, you can make it to Edmonton in 3 hours from there, and then it's the 8-hour trip back home. But at least you get like middle ground for the next show. But I mean, it's tough to sustainably play shows in Canada compared to the States, because I mean, in the States you can drive 2-3 hours and you're in a whole new scene, and you're gonna draw a whole new crowd. Here, I mean, I like playing small cities and stuff because I find like people come out because there's nothing else to do. But like, they're not really sustainable for touring, doing small cities. It's like you gotta hit the major cities in Canada, and it's tough to do.
I think you're also creating like a stronger base too. Like a lot of those bands that I see that are like in a small town or something like that, they have more of a tight knit like community of people who will come out, go see their bands. And I know for me, like every time I would like complain about like going to a show, and I'm like, oh, I gotta drive like an hour to get here. I'm like not gonna complain anymore.
Stop whining.
I'm definitely not going to complain anymore about going to like go to like Philadelphia or like New York or something like that, where it's gonna take like a couple hours.
You can't even imagine.
Dude, Rob and I drove to Seattle, which is like what 11 hours for a show.
Yeah, to go see Underoath.
We went and saw Emerosa and Silverstein, and we drove 9 hours each way. We drove the day of the show and drove home the next day.
We've done that a lot. Rob and I just went and saw Architects.
Yeah, it's madness. So think when we play a show, you got to load in at 5. So that's 8 hours. We leave at 7 in the morning.
And especially if you get into another time zone when you're driving there. Yeah. So like when we go to Alberta, we have to leave an hour before we would usually leave too. So we're like leaving at 4 in the morning. I hope my voice holds up, because by the time we get there, I'm like just dead. I suck at sleeping while driving too, like while we're driving. So, yeah.
That's definitely rough. Like I definitely respect you guys and like any Canadian band that has to go through that sort of shit. Because like for me, it's like, again, I don't have to take that sort of liberty where I'm like, okay, now I gotta think of if my voice is gonna like be super dope that night, because I drove like 8 hours to get to the next like location. So I completely commend you guys for doing that. That's super sick. But my next question is, I think you kind of answered it. What was the last show that you went to, obviously excluding which ones you played?
Oh, what was
for Rob and I? It was Architects.
Yeah, we went and saw
Architects in Vancouver. With Counterparts and Stick to Your Guns.
Yeah.
And then
you've been a little while, I think.
Yeah, it's been a little bit since.
What was the last one? The Knuckle Puck?
No, I saw. I think last show, big show I went to was like Mayday Parade, Knuckle Puck.
Wow.
It was.
Here's a little bit of Canada too. He has tickets to see Every Time I Die and Knocked Loose, and can't make it because it snows 2 feet in our town.
Yeah,
and it's an 8-hour drive,
and it's October.
And it's 2 feet of snow.
And it's October.
Yeah.
And then by the next day it was all melted. So like I missed the show just because of that circumstance. It sucked. I'm still.
It's fun.
I feel for you. That's rough. Yeah, that is super rough.
So hold on to your 1 hour drives and be thankful.
I will. I'll be like, every time I drive to Philly, I'll be like, the burden. Just gonna remember that shit.
Every time I drive.
Every time I drive. That's gonna be my that's my Every Time I Die cover band.
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
We'll get you to it,
band. All right, guys. Next question, probably the most important one of this interview. What are some of your musical influences?
Oh,
3, 2, 1.
Underoath.
I'm actually wearing an Underoath shirt.
I should have worn
An
my
Underoath-
Underoath shirt, man. Dear Jesus,
No,
we could have
dude.
had it planned out.
Yeah, we could have been twins, man.
That's the biggest one because when I joined the band, I had never listened to them, and this is only like a few years ago. Jake said, "You can join the band, you have to listen to Underoath."
I was
Oh,
like
sure.
a prerequisite for joining the
Yeah.
band. This dude, little backstory. This guy like grew up on like Megadeth and like actual like metal.
That's
And
legit.
like I was always listening to like the pussy side of like metal, like post-hardcore
He's the
emo
emo
shit.
kid, yeah.
Yeah, I was the emo kid. So like
That's how I am. So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Me
I
too
grew up
now.
on things like From First to Last and like Census Fail and Underoath, stuff like that. So like I ruined Rob's life and showed him all that stuff essentially. And now like I never see him listening to like shit he grew up on.
No.
It's funny because when I met him, like we played in like pop punk bands together, kind of growing up, like little jokey like garage bands, and like so he would go from like Megadeth to Mayday Parade, and that was like his like musical taste, and it was so odd and awesome. But like yeah, Underoath's been like the key element of this band's happiness. Like
Yeah.
every time we write, we'll reference and be like, "No, man, it's not Oath enough," and like. I mean, I think it doesn't sound like Underoath to the average listener.
It's
or
never
stuff,
it's
but-
never directly trying to rip off and do what they did, but it's just the way that they do things and the way that songs kind of are structured and feel. We sort of always kind of kept that in the back of our heads.
I don't know. I think we want to write songs that make us feel the way Underoath songs make
Made
us
us
feel.
feel, yeah.
So we kind of want to translate that to the listener too. I want a listener to, you know, attach onto these songs the way that we attach onto those
Yeah.
kind of songs.
But I think the other thing with this band too is on our first full-length album, like there's an acoustic ballad essentially. There's a really sappy emo song at the end of the album that's super clean guitars. We have a clean guitar song. We have a pop punk song. So
We have a song with a guitar solo.
Underoath is the big picture, but like
We
when
have so
Jake,
many
when Jake
influences.
writes, like there's so much Mayday Parade and Go Radio in his writing on that side, and then so we incorporate that. And the past year has just been hardcore. Like we got into hardcore, so we're like taking that, but we take everything because we all listen to tons of different stuff. So we want to push the different genres that we love because it's not just Underoath, obviously, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's cool too, because like for me, that's what I grew up listening to, like them, Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else. Fuck, I did definitely have another one. August Burns Red. Like
Yeah.
those
Oh,
are definitely first three that like got me into this like style of music, and then you know
Christian.
I obviously
Yeah.
jumped into like From First to Last, Seosin, like
Oh,
all
yeah.
those sorts of bands that like are again on that sort of bitch side of like
Yeah.
music. So
Good
They're heavy, but they
I
sing
don't
and
know.
stuff too.
I latch on to music that has more
Emotion.
than emotion. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I like, you know, like honestly, I think that era of music, post-hardcore in general, like early 2000s, like 2000 to 2010, I'd even say, like
Yeah.
I'd stretch it that far. Is kind of like our main driver sonically. Like the energy it possesses, the emotional lyrics, things like that. Like we are so stickler with, like, I know personally with my lyrics, I'm a stickler with them. Like if a line gets like too cheesy sounding or like a cop out, like, oh, we'll do that. Like even Rob will get on me and he'll be like, no, you need to change that. Like
you have, because it seems like a lot of vocalists have like go-to lines, just like guitar players have licks that they go
Yeah.
to, and drummers have drum fills. I noticed that with Jake, so we really try and like get creative when that kind of stuff happens, because we want to create the same emotion that all our favorite bands did in us.
And
yeah.
also, it's like more unique too, because like there, like you said, there's some lines like I'll listen to in a song and I'll be like, okay, maybe I heard that from somewhere else, or
Yeah.
like.
Totally.
And there's nothing wrong to reference like old at all, but you know, I think with this sort of music, you want to forge like new roads and try to combine different aspects of like what you do. So, I mean, when I checked out the songs, I got like that Underoath vibe that you guys were talking about. So,
Awesome.
I was already like, this is primo stuff we got going on here. So, I enjoyed that.
Thanks, man.
But my
Thank
next
you.
question is to follow up influences. Who have you been jamming more recently?
Okay, Robbie, start.
I got a fangirl on Post Malone, 100%. That's the big one. But actually, this year, what's the Sailson's last album came out like
Along
2
the
years
Shadows?
ago.
Yeah.
Along the Shadows. Yeah.
I finally just started listening to it, and that's probably my most listened to this winter. Like I just latched onto that, and then we started listening to Counterparts a couple months ago, and that's been steady all winter. We just Counterparts all winter. That's for me, for sure.
I think we're all like similar in the fact that we listen to like all over the board. Like, I mean, mainly I've been listening to like Bright Eyes,
nice.
just like that kind of shit. And that's been helping me a lot, like with lyrical influences and just because I like the poetry aspect of all that. But like, I mean, I still jam Underoath all the time. Underoath's new record, I mean, I've been jamming that a whole lot. It comes out tomorrow, but I've been jamming it a lot. Yeah, people like Counterparts and Knock Loose been really into like that. I know we're all over the board for that. That's definitely like who I've been jamming lately, though.
And I've got a huge soft spot for electropop. I love Churches.
Oh yeah.
And the Naked and Famous. Probably both their last records have been. I mean, Naked and Famous came out 2.5 years ago. Churches was around the same time, and I still listen to both those records constantly. The new, for on the heavier side, the new Plot and You album.
Yeah,
that was is really good. That's been pretty much on repeat since it came out in January.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, and Lord's new record.
Yeah, you're a huge Lord.
So good.
Awesome, guys. Next question, another fun one. If you guys could pick a song to cover, what song would it be?
We have covered Underoath in the past.
Yeah, we covered It's Dangerous Business Walking Out Your Front Door
and Young and Aspiring.
In the early days. Now,
oh gosh,
see that's.
Yikes.
Give us a second. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
it'd be a lot of fun to cover an Every Time I Die song
or Counterparts, something that's a little heavier than the stuff we have currently. I think is what would happen,
and more technical.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played.
Both bands are.
Yeah, totally. Every Time I Die, I'd love to
what's
cover.
What's the second song on New Junk?
Marvelous Slut by Every Time I Die.
Yeah.
I'd like to cover that.
That's probably what it would be.
Yeah.
Sick, guys. Next question. Favorite food to eat? Gotta ask that one.
Pizza.
Shit. I like tacos. I'm actually going to Mexico in 2 days, and I'm going to go into a taco coma, so hell yeah.
Tacoma?
A Tacoma.
Oh.
Toyota Tacoma. I'm so sorry.
And now everybody gets to see what it's really like being in this band.
Yeah, I'd say shitty dad jokes, and then he catches on, and then it's just
I'll
shitty
definitely
dad
be in
jokes.
your band, guys, because I'm like right up.
And
That's
then
like my tier of like comedy.
Last show I literally put on, we have dad hats and shit with like the curved brim, and I just started saying dad jokes for hours while I wore the hat only though. So
I'd come out to see that strictly, you know.
Okay, I'll do a comedy set. Come do a show.
That's my favorite. Okay, sorry.
It's your food.
Food is
Bacon.
It's definitely the food.
That's your last name.
No, that's not the point.
It's cannibalism, Rob.
Okay, no, I was actually going to say something. My favorite thing is when a band is super serious, like their image, their whole thing is super serious, and then when they're not playing shows, they're just idiots.
Which is basically.
I think that's us.
I think that's like I feel like that's like most bands stuff.
That's most bands, yeah.
I don't know. There is some like pretentious bands out there. They're like, we're so serious.
We played with a couple like that.
yeah, but then I don't know.
No. There's not a serious moment ever.
I think we're serious with music, but everything else, it's like,
That's fine. As long as you take that.
Serious about our favorite foods.
Yeah, and our favorite foods. Yeah.
The question was actually
Tacomas. Yeah.
This is too much.
Nice.
Like, oh my god. All right, guys. Next question. If there is somebody that you could collaborate, whether it be guest vocalist or producer role, who would it be?
I mean, honestly, I think some of my dreams come true because our producer, I grew up with a band too, referencing like post-hardcore stuff called Secret and Whisper.
Oh, I love
and
this.
we're actually we're working with the bassist from that band. He did like a lot of the writing with that, and he actually mixed our EP.
And produced it.
Yeah, and produced it. Yeah, he'll come up and hang out. So it's really weird going from like listening to his shit growing up. Like he was in Stutterfly. I mean, he was in Secret and Whisper, and he's in Shreddy Krueger. And like going from the listening fanboys aspect to like going over to his house and like petting his dog. Like, it's really
I like
weird.
that
So,
was
I mean,
the first thing that you thought of. You're just like, let me think. I could think of anything cool.
you know, I see
I'm
the
definitely going with the
bassist.
dog.
Yeah. Actually, the first thing Rob did when we walked into his house.
No, yeah, so here it is. It's, we're meeting this super cool guys who's big bands, and we're all kind of, Jake and I are like kind of nervous and like trying not to fangirl. First thing I do is walk into his house and drop a coffee right on his dog.
Spilled it all over him.
Total accident. He still worked with us.
Okay,
He
no,
still works
That,
with
that
us.
wasn't
It
the
was
reason he wanted to
fucking
quit.
amazing. We stopped at Starbucks before rolling up to his house. We just drove 8 hours to get to his house.
Oh, and the coffee was perfect.
And he got a coffee from Starbucks, and we roll up to his house. This idiot holds the coffee by the lid, and we're walking in, and then the coffee just drops and spills everywhere. He didn't even take a
pass
sip.
the board.
Oh god! And now
Okay,
we have a working title song.
Wait, come on.
Okay, that's called Coffee Dog. So we're working on a record right now. We got a song called Coffee Dog.
Yeah.
should just get
Despite that, Jordan did an EP with us, and he's still he's gonna be producing the full length album we're working on right now too.
So I mean, as far as
Okay.
I mean, that's a dream come true for sure.
And also, so he does vocals now. He used to be a bass player. He does vocals now. We kind of sort of forgot to ask for him to do a feature on our EP because we didn't want to bug him. I think that's why we just
Honestly, no, we wanted Charles to do
Yeah.
it.
Well, also because he did the guest on Stasis's, and he
Yeah.
did harmonies on the Kitsune one. We didn't.
Yeah.
Like everyone he works with, he's done some vocals for them. So it's just like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to bother him.
and he's bummed. He was offended. He thought, "What did you guys ask me to do?" And we're like, "Oh shit." Yeah, we
Good
probably
for
should have
story.
done that.
Yeah. So now from like going from like fanboying on him, we just piss him off. It's awesome.
We're difficult.
Yeah, we're
But,
really.
but that's been awesome because it's cool to see somebody who has experience in the music industry from 10 years ago when it was
20 years ago.
Yeah, even 20 years
Yeah.
A
ago.
long time.
So
I
that's
mean,
been-
his old band Stutterfly toured with Seosin when they put out Translating the Name with Anthony Green, and like Story of the Year with Page Avenue. Like he toured with them on those tours, and like he was on Warped Tour 04 when Underoath just dropped Only Chasing Safety.
Oh,
So like
man.
hearing his stories and stuff about those touring days, it's like really dope because these are all these bands that we like idolize, obviously, and yeah, he has like, oh yeah, you know, I hung out with Aaron Gillespie and on Warped Tour every day. And we're like, oh, fuck you, man.
You're the worst.
yeah, exactly.
No, like, and for me, like, when you're just mentioning that, like, I went to go see them do their, like, comeback tour where they played They're Only Chasing Safety and Define the Great Line, like, back-to-back.
Us too.
And
Yeah.
I was just like, this is fucking incredible because those records are like my teen years. Like those are like the best records, still the best records in that time, that era of music, like for sure. And
Yeah.
it's just, it was so cool seeing them like back together, like with Aaron back, like with them. I think it's just such a cool experience. I'm actually seeing them in 2 weeks. They're doing like an acoustic show, like
Wow.
close to me.
That's
So,
That's insane.
like, fingers crossed, meet Spencer and, like,
Man.
Aaron. That would be...
We could
we got to
we
meet
could-
them on that
yeah.
comeback
So-
too. Yeah,
2 things. Jake gets me into Underoath while they're broken up, which is a cruel thing to do.
yeah.
Because I'm like, oh,
pissed.
thanks for getting me into
She was
this
like,
band.
this band's
that doesn't
awesome,
exist
and then
anymore.
I'm like, yeah, they broke up 2 years ago.
Oh, my God.
Fuck you, man.
Okay, but then they get back together. So it's like late August, and Jake sends me a Twitter post, and it's for Self Help 2016, and it's Underoath's first show announced back, and we
Yeah.
bought VIP tickets 6 minutes after it went for sale.
Yeah, and we're in northern BC, so that's pretty fucking far.
So, yeah,
from
that was
San
LA.
Bernardino,
We went
right?
to Self Help,
So we bought tickets, and we're like, we'll figure it out after. Like,
and we got to meet them, and
but then
that's all I can say.
they announced
It
the
was
Rebirth
amazing.
tour like 2 weeks after, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck. I'm like, I want to see Define the Great Line and Safety.
Yeah.
Because they didn't play them straight through. They did like you know choice cuts from it, but like that show was insane.
Yeah.
They are so incredible. Like, I'm excited. I mean, like, if you guys want to fly out to New Jersey, like, they're playing, like, I think, like, 2 or 3 different times, like, near my house. It's kind of insane. Like, so...
Is it only an hour away, or?
It is only an hour away, so, I mean, come on, let's do
Are
it.
you going to survive the drive, dude?
We'll just yeah, I'm driving, dude. Let's do it. Come on, road trip. Let's make a road
Alright, let's
trip
do
out
it, bro.
Meanwhile, we're sitting here patiently waiting for a Vancouver date 9 hours away.
Right.
Yeah, and they haven't played Canada. They play Toronto, which is literally across the country.
Yeah.
So that's like you to go to LA. Like,
Yeah, because we saw them in Seattle.
But the last
Which is the
last time I saw Underoath was 9 years ago in Vancouver on the Lost in the Sound tour.
Oh,
So-
that's such a great record, though. I love that
Yeah.
one.
yeah, that's the trifecta to me. Like Safety.
So I'm really hoping that there'll be another date nearby.
We'll just tweet. I'll just tweet him this interview and be like, "Yo, the boys want to see you. in Vancouver. Let's get it.
Yo, the
Come
boys
on.
need you.
Boys.
We the boys. Let's just get it.
We out here.
We out here. let's do this shit. Let's get it going."
yeah.
All
Hell
right,
yeah.
guys. Next question: if there was another musical instrument that you could just shred at, what would it be?
I want to be good at drums so desperately.
Yeah, drums is
He's
so rad.
bad.
It's the worst. It's the worst instrument to have to play for all the BS you put up with. Like, just watching our drummer smash shit all night looks like a blast.
I don't know, like mentally, like I can figure out drum parts, but like trying to put it together while sitting down at a drum kit, I'm like, ugh, fuck this. Like, it's too hard. Yeah.
I'd say,
Or like the violin's cool
Yeah,
because
that
it's the only other instrument other than vocals to me that seems super emotional where you can really get into it. That'd be cool, but that's just a lot of time and stress and sucking, which I did when I was 15 at guitar. I don't think I
Yeah.
want to do it again.
I still do.
I wish I could play anything other than bass. No,
You're supposed to say, I wish I could play bass.
I wish I could play bass too. Yeah. No, I'm classically trained on piano and then migrated to bass. So I play a couple different instruments, but I don't know, maybe vocals. Like,
Yeah.
wish I could actually sing.
Don't,
Yeah,
it sucks.
yeah.
Honestly, being a
That was
vocalist
that was
sucks.
the reason I got into heavy music, was like watching band screamers do it, like watching August Burns Red and Underoath and stuff like that. It's like
Screaming's fun. It's
the guys who have like those really super powerful voices just always blew me away, and I've always wished I could.
I
Yeah.
feel that.
Don't recommend it. It's the most stressful thing, going from like playing guitar and having a fallback, like, to just being a vocalist. It's like, if I don't get enough sleep, my voice, I'm not going to hit those notes. If I don't do this, and it's like, you got to be healthy, and it's just like, how did the 80s bands who just got fucked up every day like get on stage and like fucking have no idea how they do it?
That's actually so true, though. Like, no one's ever like, you know what? Like, if I just did a ton of cocaine and like just drank
And
a bunch of
heroin, you
fucking
know,
Jack
yeah.
Daniels.
Yeah, because our band is like, okay, let's go to bed early, let's get a bunch of sleep.
Did you guys
hydrate-
get your kale today?
Let's
Like,
hydrate, and then the next day we're all sick and everything sucks.
yeah, we're the worst because we're literally like, yeah, did you drink matcha today? Hey, make sure you get enough water. Let's make sure we get our 8 hours of sleep. Okay, we can sleep in until we drive into the next show. We got to make sure we get to
Jake's
sleep.
like, yeah, I can't sing today, guys.
Yeah, actually, I lost my voice one tour we did, and like the last show, Rob did vocals, and I
Yeah.
played guitar. It was
See,
awesome.
Being a frontman, so I got to be a frontman for a night, except I only had to scream, so it's awesome. Because I'm just like, you just scream for an
Screams
hour.
are easy.
That's fine, but I don't envy people who sing and scream ever. It's awful.
Yeah, I know like a bunch of people that are vocalists, and they're just like, it fucking sucks. So, as much as I'd
So much
love
more
to sing, as much as I'd love to sing, I don't think I could do it. But next question, guys. My personal favorite question: if you could be a video game character, who would you be?
Oh no.
Shit.
Samus, because I want to be a girl. No.
Now the
No,
next
Sam-
headline's The Birds, Rob Bacon comes out
That's the first thing.
transgender.
That's the first that comes to mind, just because that'd be cool.
Metroid Prime era? Or?
Because she doesn't talk, she's a total loner, but she's a badass. And
That's
I'm
true.
like, cool. No words. Good.
I'd like to be like Ness from Earthbound. Just whack things with a baseball bat and like use
Throw
my
fire
mind.
from your hands.
Oh, fucking right, and like, be the ultimate Smash main, like, like with some actual like, tricky mechanics. Like, yeah, I'd be Ness, I think.
Yeah. Hey, Cartman from Stick of Truth.
I'd have to say probably Link.
Yeah.
Just Legend of Zelda.
Which game?
Oh god,
Breath of the Wild.
probably Breath of the Wild, just because I've played it
It's
recently,
so good.
and it's so much fun.
Oh, it's amazing.
I need to get a Switch. That's.
What about
nothing.
you though? What
Oh.
video game character would you be?
Fuck. Well, I get for
Take that.
the sake of transparency and like keeping it the same. I've said that I'd love to be the Pokemon trainer from Gold and Silver.
Oh, dude, best gen. It's
That's
like
legit.
it's like I'm gonna take over Johto, and then you're like, oh shit.
Then
I'll
you're
take
like, I
over
got Kanto
too.
too. What?
Yeah, you're like, I'll pick up the slack, boys. So let's
Nerd
go.
alerts.
There you go. I don't listen. That's why I asked that fucking question because I know I'm a big
Because
fan.
every band.
I want
full
to
of nerds.
change it now, straight up. I want to be that.
It's okay though. Now I know you guys are Smash guys, so that's all I need to know. And that whenever you come to Jersey, I'm gonna just crush your ass. So
Straight up. No, we actually play League of Legends because we hate ourselves.
Yeah, Jake and I are huge League of Legends nuts.
Yeah.
there you go. Awesome guys. Next question. In your opinion, who puts on a great live show?
Underoath.
No, okay, so Every Time I
Actually-
Die is number one for live shows, I think.
I would agree.
I saw them in Edmonton at this. It's really hard to explain. It's a bar that's kind of a circle,
Okay.
but the stage is on the back side of the circle, so you can stand around the band. You can actually stand behind the band,
There's like
and
bars
then
around
there's a pit in the middle, and there was no security and no barricades, and small, probably 250 people. And in the first song, the end breakdown, everybody in the band except the drummer launched right into the crowd. Even Andy, and Andy's like 300-pound wrestler.
Yes.
He's in the crowd, and I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And just insanity. And tight, obviously. And they've been doing it forever. And they did this really crusty Canadian tour, too. Because when bands do a Canadian tour, it's like, they might play Quebec, they'll play Toronto,
Yeah.
they'll dip back to the States, they might play Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver, that's it. They played the Maritimes, they played Prince Edward Island, they played Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. They
He's like,
played
where
a
are
band-
these places?
Exactly. These are the tiniest places. They played a show where they couldn't fit all their gear on the stage, and it's smaller than any stage we've ever played. And that would be awesome because they're legends.
I like that they're like that.
Yeah, they don't care.
Just because we say Underoath for everything, I'm not going to say Underoath. We saw Let Live at Self Help, and then Jason Butler's
Animal.
in Animal. So I'd say like stage wise, like presence wise, Jason Butler's insane. So I'd say Let Live or Seosin. Seosin was crazy back in the day, and I wish I could see that.
I'd say,
Yeah.
for bands that I've seen live, I would say Architects
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
and Norma Jean. I saw Norma Jean on that Underoath tour 9 years ago.
Because some of these
Damn,
bands
I
just
saw
have things. And then even in the not the crazy respect, we saw Bring the Horizon recently,
Sick.
and the stage screen is about 60 feet tall, and it's just video, and the band's huge, and the sound is huge, and that's like a totally different thing than all these crazy bands we love, and that was awesome too.
Yeah, it was cool because that was with Underoath. So Underoath is just like no gimmicks, no bullshit, and they just played like a crazy good set and so much energy. And then for
Bring Me the
Bring Me the
Horizon.
Horizon to follow it
It's all
up with
production value.
completely opposite, like tons
Full
of
production,
samples,
yeah.
full production, bass drops, stuff like that. It was really cool to see that back to back and totally different ends of the spectrum, but just as entertaining.
Yeah.
I
was
know
cool.
I know that Underoath for that combined tour where they did both albums, they had like a visual back screen with scenes from like music videos that they did during that era. So it was
That's
really cool. And then Let Live. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse because I say this story about Let Live all the time. But I went to go see them on the Underoath tour when they were breaking up with Aaron, without Aaron, I mean, and Let Live was the opener for that tour. So all I remember is they were like, "This is our last song. Let's get fucking crazy." And like, I'd never seen them before, so I'm like, okay, what the hell is gonna happen? So all I see, like, in the left corner of my eye is that they literally took one of the bass cabs, threw it out into the crowd, and then Jason's like, let's get this shit going, and then the drums kick in, and he flies off the stage and lands on this bass cab and starts, like, surfing it around in this venue in Philly.
That's so
while
funny.
Still singing and, like, doing all of his, like, crazy shit, and I'm like, he's the best performer I've ever seen live.
That's how we get amped for shows, is there's this like 5-minute compilation of Jason Butler doing crazy shit.
Being a madman.
And before every show I gotta watch that, because that's our inspiration to see that.
That's our inspiration live too, is just to be fucking ridiculous.
Super high energy.
Like if I'm, just focusing on notes, Rob's making up for it by like bleeding all over his guitar, and like dude like launches himself in the middle of like a mosh pit while playing. Like his wireless.
I got flattened in the mosh pit with my guitar at the last show. It was awesome.
Oh my god.
And as you could tell from the bands we list that we like to see live, you can kind of see what we're probably
like
going
that.
for.
Yeah, I'd say we're like, I don't know, like seeing a band from back then. Like I think that's because that's our main driver. Like how Taking Back Sunday used to be, Underoath and stuff like that. Like Mike swings. Like I like to definitely be engaged and entertaining.
We just act like we're all hopped up on cocaine the whole set.
That's
so
dope.
definitely the 2003 vibe for sure.
But anyway, guys, next question: if you could compile a dream tour, who would be on it?
No.
Like personally, us touring with them, or
of course, you gotta have yourself on there,
Well, it's going to be 30 bands.
it's gonna be like Warped Tour.
It's going to be called Airwalk Tony Hawk Tour.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 soundtrack.
With no bands.
Underground, American Wasteland.
How many times do we have to say the word Underoath?
Obviously Underoath would headline. Let Live would be on it because they're getting back together. Secret and Whisper, we get them back together and put on it.
No, actually, go check Secret and Whisper's Facebook.
Yeah.
Because
they may or may not
be working on things.
I'd love Secret and Whisper. I think Let Live, us, and it
has to be Underoath.
And I mean, if we had one more, I'd love to have
a Chariot for a reunion.
I would like to have Seosin.
And then My Chemical Romance. How many bands can we say?
It's gonna be the American Wasteland Festival. We're just gonna name it after
Taking Back Sunday, but like 2004 era Taking Back Sunday.
We're just listing bands we like at this point.
I feel you. I feel you.
Well, I think the tickets would sell.
Okay, let's say top 3. You can only pick 3.
Yeah, it'd be Underoath.
Underoath's Back Sunday.
Underoath headlining.
3 with us.
3 with us.
Okay.
And we're opening, obviously.
Underoath, us, Secret and Whisper, and one more.
Every Time I Die?
Every Time I Die. Yeah, okay, there we go. Secret and Whisper, The Burden, Underoath, Every Time I Die.
Sure.
That's wild.
Mad.
I would pay good money to see that. That would be a dope show.
Just go late, and then you'll miss our set, and it'll be a perfect show.
Yeah, go see the good bands.
Yeah.
I think you're one of the first bands to be like, just don't fucking see my band. Just completely skip over my band.
If you want to see a guy whine about everything on stage, come see us.
Yeah.
I was gonna say isn't that like every band in this scene pretty much at this point? Like, I mean, maybe there might be a select few that don't, but like that's what I come to expect when I listen to this type of music.
I don't know.
This next song is about
hating myself.
Sadness. This song's about
crippling depression.
That's actually us.
Trying to wake up in the morning.
We try to counteract the whole like depressing aspect of our lyrics and songwriting by like making fun of ourselves on stage.
A little. It's enough.
I couldn't tell. Definitely could not tell.
No, not at all, man.
Not at all. Maybe it's just a live show thing. I don't know. Who knows? And anyway, next question, guys. Favorite TV show, favorite movie?
Right now, The Office,
Yeah.
the best.
We all just came upon that. I have to say Game of Thrones, so I can't. I love The Office, but I can't replace Game of
I'm
Thrones.
gonna go ahead and say my favorite TV show is Supernatural.
Interesting. Yep.
There's the spectrum. Favorite movie here would probably be Spirited Away.
Favorite movie, current or of all time?
All time.
All time. Star Wars Episode 3. Screw everybody who says the prequels suck. 3's the best. So
You took the high ground on that one, man.
I hate you.
Now Ross can't come. Okay, I got a question for you. Worst interview you've ever done?
No, this is probably one of my favorites that I've done this year, easily.
I think we can say my favorite movie.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite?
It's funny because I have a hard time with this question. Currently, my favorite movie is probably yeah.
Say Star Wars
Yeah.
Episode 8.
No, not actually.
Say Star Wars
Kurt,
Episode 8
if you're
so we
watching
can
this,
flame people.
Star Wars Episode 8, fight me.
Yep. Just to piss some people
Our
off.
friend Kurt from Kitsune hates Episode 8.
So
So we played a show with them recently, and I'm like, this song goes out to Star Wars Episode 8, the best one. Yeah.
How about
So-
this? We're gonna just settle in the comments. Whatever you feel. Episode 3, comment Episode 3. If you like Episode 8, just don't comment because it's not worth your time. So,
Don't comment because then obviously we'll win.
I'll be honest. Like I think Episode 8 gets enough shit. Like I don't think it was nearly as bad as people make it out to be.
Oh no, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding when I
great.
say I loved it.
Yeah, it was
Because
I thought
I
it was
just-
great, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's I don't think it's as good as like I would probably agree with you. Like Episode 3 is my favorite because that's what I grew up watching. Like
Yeah,
episode
yeah, that's
1,
the
2,
thing.
That was
3.
our
That's the thing with
trilogy,
the
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
People were
old.
like,
Yeah,
nah,
I
it's
think
4,
we see
5,
the
and
original
6,
trilogy.
man. Like that's the best. Those are the best 3, and I'm like,
Dude,
oh,
Jar
they
Jar
were, like,
Binks
in
is the
80s.
best fucking character in the universe. Like, let's
no,
be
but
honest.
for real, I understand
Lisa.
people who didn't grow up with Episode 1, 2, and 3 and they hate it, but like, I just remember watching Episode 3. I don't know how old I was.
You know what?
but
Because
it
I
amazing.
was like probably 9 or 10 when Episode 1 came out, and the pod racing was the best thing ever.
I
Yep.
agree. Yeah,
Blew
that's
my
cool.
64 and 64
Yeah,
games.
I had the
64.
pod racer game on computer. I played
Okay,
the crap out of
next
it.
question on this Star Wars themed podcast.
We just
Galaxy
completely
Far, Far
shift
Away.
tracks.
You
Now
gotta
it's gonna
change
be
your
like-
backdrop to be like fucking like the scroll down.
Just
Yeah.
like, no, we'll
Rolling
just have.
credits.
I'll just have a photo of like Jar Jar Binks, like right here.
Rolling down.
You know, right.
You better live up to that, man.
Oh man, I gotta. You're gonna be testing my editing skills right now.
Look at that.
But I'm gonna try. So don't hold me to it. I'm gonna try to do it. But anyway, next question, guys. If there was one album that you could listen to for a month straight, no other album, what would it be?
Lost in the Sound of Separation.
Define the great line.
Lost in the Sound of Separation.
Beautiful. What a way to end off the record.
The-
I'd
the
like
thing
to
with-
thank Underoath for talking with me today. Awesome. Love these guys. So cool. So cool to be talking with just my band that I grew up listening to. Now I'm finally interviewing Underoath. Wow. Such
Honor to talk.
Okay, if you watch the entire thing back, please make a tally of how many times the word Underoath, 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 Underoath. is
And
said.
actually put in the
God, every time they say
count.
Underoath.
Every time you say under
Does it
oath,
have a visual counter in the bottom?
yeah, under oath
We'll
count.
turn it into a drinking game.
Yeah.
A shot every
Everybody's
time you
gonna.
mention.
My whole subscribers are gonna be dead by the time this is over. With. So I don't need that on my conscience.
shit.
They're like, how did he die? And then like the last video on their like search history was like this interview. I don't need that shit. They're gonna.
That could be a horror
find
movie.
me.
We could make big bucks on it.
I'm gonna die.
The burden,
I'm gonna have like
The burden
fucking
of society.
FBI like come
like
through
the
my
ring,
basement or
but
some
worse.
shit. They're gonna be like, yo, you just killed a fucking ton of people and like you're going to jail forever. So
Well, I mean, they played the game.
that's true. You're right.
Oh man, we're
Anyway.
gonna have to have disclaimers on our episodes of podcasts.
Anyway, guys, lastly, tell them about your band, The Burden, where they can find you at, and anything coming up in the next couple months.
So our band Under Oath.
Oh, sorry. I completely...
you go to
it's time for me to leave.
underoath777.com.
See you guys later.
No. Oh no! We've done it again. Okay, no.
Okay,
for real,
the burden.
on all the major Facebook, Instagram,
The old
Twitter,
Facebook.
It's a website now.
Yeah,
our website's live.
we got theburden.ca.
Update it because we're horrible at online stuff.
So stream it on Spotify. I mean,
Yeah, Google Play, Apple Music,
theburnedmusic.bandcamp.com.
Yeah, our Bandcamp is probably the one we would be most grateful for people to go to, just because that's where you can actually order our digital download, and it goes basically I think like 70% goes directly to the band. Bandcamp takes a small cut.
Yeah, and I mean, it helps us a lot. Every purchase and stuff through that.
Yeah.
With things like iTunes, it's actually like a 3-month delay before we get anything from it.
But stream the heck out of it on Spotify and Apple Music and Google Play as well. I mean, we appreciate all of that too.
Honestly, just listening to our we just dropped the new EP, and the response has been crazy. It's been really cool. I mean, Modern Disease didn't have that, or people latched onto it. I mean, on a regional standpoint, definitely. I mean, playing shows and playing Modern Disease songs, people latched onto those. I feel like, but as far as press and things like that, where people gave a shit about it, it wasn't huge. So to see, I mean, even you taking the time to interview us, we appreciate it, man. The EP has just kind of gone beyond our expectations at this point. If it just stopped and nobody cared, even just for the month and a half that people gave a shit, it's been really awesome.
And then in the future, we don't have anything huge planned. We just have some local tours like we usually do. Until the reality these days is mostly you got to build an online presence. So we're really working on that. And then I think we're going to do the old-fashioned route, and we are working on another full-length.
Yeah.
We're into full-length albums.
Yeah. Featuring Coffee Dog.
Yeah.
Make sure you keep an eye out for that song, because you want to hear it. It's actually got samples of when they actually drop the hot coffee on the dog.
One small addition to the story. This will be the sample. His girlfriend comes downstairs and says, Jordan, why is Charlie wet? And that'll be how the song starts.
No, also, side note, Jordan sends us a picture 4 months later. He's cleaning his living room, and there's coffee splatter behind the couch on the wall. And he's like, fuck you, Rob.
I think I don't get there. Because that was great.
I have a picture of Rob holding a jug of bleach, and it says, when you spill coffee on your producer's dog.
And on that note, I'd like to give a shout out to Adam from Kitsune. I hate his guts.
So
do we.
I love Adam. He's the best. I'll tell you guys later about that story. But he's the one who gave you guys a shout out to go check out. So much love to Adam and Kitsune. They're both great people, great person and great band. So go check those guys out. And then if you like this interview, please subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up and go check the links in the description where you can find out about The Burden, their new record. Go pick it up. I don't know if they have physicals, but if they did, I will go. I will go purchase one right now on my laptop here. But go check out their stuff. Go stream it on Spotify. Go pick it up on Bandcamp. And thanks, guys, for coming on.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Hey, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos. So definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.